Instructor Veldar had overseen gravity conditioning for the Stellar Defense Academy for 27 cycles. His own species, the Carithians, were renowned for their endurance, dense bone structure, redundant muscle groups, and cardiovascular systems that could function under crushing atmospheric pressure. He had trained the elite of a dozen civilizations. None of them had ever smiled during 6G conditioning. Initiating gravity sequence, he announced to the mixed species cadet class. Beginning at 2.5 standard gravities, increasing by half-gravity intervals every 10 minutes. Cadets unable to maintain formation will be eliminated from the program. The gravity chamber hummed to life, its field generators creating the crushing embrace that separated the strong from the merely ambitious. Around the training floor, cadets from across the galaxy braced themselves. At 3G, the Altarian began struggling, his enhanced cognitive implants useless against the physical demands. The 5G, 2 Drachmary cadets, beings evolved on a high-gravity world, started showing stress fractures in their natural armor plating. At 4G, the vegan collective mind entity began losing cohesion, its plasma form compressing under the relentless pressure. And in the back corner of the chamber, Cadet Emma Walsh began her morning stretches. Instructor Veldar's 4 eyes focused on the human with growing disbelief. The tiny biped, barely 1.6 meters tall and massing perhaps 60 kilograms, had dropped into what his database identified as a yoga pose and appeared to be breathing deeply. "Cadet Walsh," he barked through the intercom. "This is conditioning, not recreation time." Emma looked up with genuine confusion, her face flushed but cheerful. "Sorry, sir. I was just warming up. The gravity feels really good for stretching." At 4.5G, the first casualties began. The Altarian collapsed, his enhanced skeleton finally succumbing to forces it was never designed to handle. 2 more Drachmary dropped out, their proud warrior heritage unable to compensate for physics. Emma transitioned into what appeared to be some form of dance, her movements fluid and controlled despite the crushing environment. "Impossible," muttered Veldar. His own species could barely function at 4.5G, and they were considered among the most physically robust in the galaxy. At 5G, half the class had failed. The vegan entity dispersed entirely, its component particles scattered by gravitational stress. The remaining Drachmary cadets were on their hands and knees, their breathing labored and painful. Emma began doing push-ups. "Cadet Walsh?" Instructor Veldar's voice cracked with disbelief. Are you exercising?" "Yes, sir," Emma called back, not even breathing hard. "My home planet has about 1.2G, so this is like a really good workout. Though I have to be careful not to overdo it. Don't want to strain anything." At 5.5G, only 3 cadets remained standing. A heavily modified Carithian with cybernetic enhancements. A Centauri whose species evolved in the crushing depths of gas giant atmospheres. And Emma Walsh, who had somehow transitioned into a handstand. The Carithian's augmentations began failing at 6G, sparks flying from overloaded servos. The Centauri, despite his evolutionary advantages, started showing signs of organ compression, his multiple hearts struggling to pump against the gravitational tide. Emma flipped from her handstand into a backbend. Her spine curved in a way that made several observers wince. "How are you doing this?" Veldar demanded, abandoning all pretense of professional detachment. "Doing what, sir?" Emma asked, moving into another stretch. "Oh, you mean staying conscious? Well, humans are pretty good at adapting to pressure. We evolved on a world where atmospheric pressure changes constantly, weather systems, altitude variations, that kind of thing. Plus, we do this thing called progressive training, where we gradually increase difficulty." At 6.5G, the Centauri finally fell, his specialized physiology overcome by forces that would have liquefied most organic matter. The Carithian cadet had been unconscious for 2 full minutes. Emma Walsh stood alone in the center of the chamber, rotating her shoulders and looking slightly disappointed. "Is that it?" she asked. "I was hoping we'd get to at least 8G. I've been training at 7G back home just to get ready for academy standards." Instructor Veldar stared at the impossible sight through the observation window. Every law of physics, every principle of biology he understood, suggested that the fragile human should have been crushed to paste 10 minutes ago. Instead, she was asking for more. "Cadet Walsh," he said slowly, "what gravity did you train under on your homeworld?" "Well, Earth is about 1 g naturally, but we have centrifuge facilities. I've been working out at varying gravities since I was 12. It's part of standard human athletic conditioning." Velthar's mind reeled. Standard conditioning? They treated this as routine preparation? "The human species," he said to himself, "does not fight gravity. They make friends with it." Emma smiled and waved from the chamber floor. "Same time tomorrow, sir?" The gravity training program was completely restructured the following week. The new motto, suggested by Emma Walsh, was posted above the chamber entrance. "Don't fight the pressure, dance with it." Graduation rates improved by 340%.